Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by my good friend and two-time British middleweight champion, Denzel Bentley. Denzel, how you doing?
I'm all good, thanks. And yourself?
I'm very good. We're here ready for another title defence, this time Nathan Heaney in the opposite corner. Does it ever get old, all these British title defences?
I just like fighting, so I don't really see it as a British title defence or whatever it is. I mean, I enjoy it. I enjoy being in the ring and you know, competing. So it being a British title defence is just a bonus for me. So whatever it is, I'm happy that I'm back.
I was a little concerned when, after the Janibek fight, very close to winning that. You know, Frank Warren says if you just started a bit earlier, he's sure you would have won the fight. And then you had to come back down to domestic level. But against Kieran Smith, you looked as good as ever. Was there ever a concern in your mind that you'd struggle to get up for the domestic level again?
No, because I want to get back to world level. And to get back to world level, I've got to get through these sort of fights. I mean, if I went in there with Kieran Smith and couldn't get up for it and struggled, that doesn't help my point, you know, trying to get back to world level. So that's all the motivation I need, trying to get back to where I want to be, where I had a taste of. So same thing with Nathan Heaney. I mean, I've got to really impress if I want to try and prove a point that I'm really done with this level, which I believe I am, but listen, there's an opportunity here and, you know, you've got to take opportunities. I'd rather fight than be inactive and start waiting for one of these guys at world level to be available for a fight. So I've got to keep putting on a show, keep impressing, keep showing my level and keep moving forward.
I was kind of frustrated on your behalf seeing some of the fights that have been made recently, and there's no disrespect to any of the guys involved who are all really good in their own right. But you got Tyler Denny, former English champion, now bidding for the European title, never won the British. You got Hamzah Sheeraz, not apparently at the moment interested in a fight with you, never won the British. He's fighting Liam Williams, which will be a great boost for Hamza's profile. Why aren't you getting those sort of fights?
Yeah, when I saw that Tyler Denny one, I almost threw my phone. But no, I mean, I'm happy for him, man. Do your thing. But we tried to get that European title fight. Couldn't do it for some reason. Some mandatories, obviously Cash was mandatory. He had to fight, then he pulled out, and it was just all over the place. I couldn't really get that fight for one reason or another. But saw that announcement and I thought, oh come on, we've been trying to get that for how long now? But of course, I already had the fight of Heaney, so it was like, I'm not that upset about it because I've got a fight date and I'm in a good fight. And then I saw Hamza's one and I thought, tried to get Liam Williams as well. For whatever reason, couldn't make it happen. He's on the internet, tagging me in things, calling me out, and I've said, yo, get your team to get in contact. Like, why are you coming on the internet for? Get your team to get in contact and let's make it happen. I mean, you know, Danny, I don't turn down fights. I'm willing to fight all those guys. That fight didn't materialise. Next thing I know, he's fighting Hamzah. So I don't know, man. Both them fights, the European champion and Williams, I tried to get myself, and I couldn't for one reason or another. But I mean, the winner of any of those two fights, I'd take in a heartbeat. So
does it piss you off though to see people that haven't achieved as much as you? I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but see people that haven't achieved as much as you getting opportunities that you would have liked for yourself.
No, 100%. Like, it irritates me a bit, and I'm like, what? But it's like, cool, whatever. I'm in a good fight. Like I said, if I didn't have this fight or have a date, I'd be fuming. But I've got a date, I've got something to focus on. Can't keep looking at everyone else's journey because I'm not in their position or I'm not in their shoes. I mean, that's fine. I've got a good opportunity to showcase myself in, you know, a big arena, A Arena in Manchester against Heaney, who sells thousands of tickets. I mean, there's going to be a lot of eyes in this fight. So I guess I'm in my own lane a bit. So that kind of makes me feel like, okay, you know what? Let me just focus on what I'm doing. But if I didn't have a date, I'd be fuming.
Everyone talks about Nathan Heaney in terms of the fan base, vociferous, passionate. What does he bring to the table inside the ring?
I think he's quite tough. I think he's tougher than a lot of people expect. I think people are expecting this to be like a one-round job. That one-round job against Kieran Smith, that was just a shot that I caught him with and he just went. I think Nathan Heaney's tougher than we expect. And I think he showed a good skill set in that Jack Flatley fight. I keep saying that Jack Flatley fight, I'll be honest with you, I didn't think he was going to come through that. And he showed a different side to his game. But I think because of the way he shapes up and he looks a bit stiff and he looks everything looks tight with him, people kind of underestimate him and kind of think, oh, he's not that good. But he does what he does. It just doesn't look pleasing to the eye. Do you know what I mean? I mean, he's undefeated for a reason. He's fought guys. He's fought people. I mean, I think I checked one of his records. One of his last opponents was Bradley Skeets' former opponent. I know they're not the same weight class, but I mean, he's doing what he can. And I think in this fight, he's going to be this is going to be the best version of Heaney we're ever going to see, because this is like a world title fight to him. He's fighting for the British title in front of, he's going to sell thousands of tickets, and he wants to go back to his home ground, the stadium in Stoke. So he's going to put everything into it. So I just can't afford to get caught slipping and think it's an easy fight. So in my mind, this is the toughest fight for me today.
And talking of that fan base, how do you think the reception is going to affect you, being, massively the villain in this one, because it's not far from Stoke? But how do you think it's going to affect him? Because in some senses, all the pressure's on him.
Yeah, but I think it will boost him up. It will give him, that energy to fight as hard as he can. For me, I'm gonna thrive. I'm gonna love it. I mean, whether they're booing or cheering, that's like thousands of fans I'm making react to something. Like, I mean, they're gonna be cheering or booing at me. So, I mean, I think I'm gonna enjoy it. I think that's what I'm looking forward to the most. I know the fans can't fight for you or whatever, but it's gonna be a good fight. But just being in the midst of that crowd, the Stoke fans, I mean, they've got good energy, so I'm gonna enjoy it.
You talked about you take the winner of either of the two fights I mentioned earlier. Who are going to be the winners of those fights? Let's get some Bentley predictions.
I don't really know, but I think Tyler Denny can beat Singhani. I think the age might be a factor. I think they're quite similar in styles, except one's southpaw, one's orthodox. I mean, Tyler Denny ain't got no stoppages on his record, but I think he's got enough power to gain his opponent's respect. I mean, you don't beat 4 unbeaten fighters back to back if you don't. So I'm going to go with Tyler Denny on that one. And Hamzah and Williams, I think I'm going to go Hamzah, because Williams ain't really looked the same since his world title challenge against Andrade. The Chris Eubank fight, Chris Eubank put him down about 4 times with a jab. We all know Hamzah's got a good jab. So yeah, it just depends. I mean, he's had some time. He didn't look good in his last fight neither, on a Wasserman card in York Court. He didn't look good in that fight. He knocked out the guy, but I think he got kind of buzzed a little bit with a jab from that opponent. And it seems like he's not taking the shots well. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what's going on, but it seems like he's had a bit of time off. Hopefully he's recovered and can put up a good fight. But yeah, I'm going to go Hamzah that fight. But even with that fight, Williams, I was trying to get him before when he was British champion. So I've been trying to fight these guys for a while. But yeah, I'm going to go Hamzah and Tyler.
And you mentioned Chris Eubank there. What do you make of him against Conor Benn? Well, I know we've asked you about this before when it was first kind of lined up when you were on our podcast. Seems like ages ago now, but they're looking at it for maybe December or January now. What do you make of it as a contest?
I mean, it's the same thing that I thought back then, isn't it? It's just a form of entertainment. It's not a real fight in my eyes. Do you know what I mean? It's no different to the Misfits cards. Right, being disrespectful because they're both real fighters, but just the weight difference is going to be too dramatic, especially if Eubank makes the weight well. I mean, the first time when he was bringing them down under 160, we all showed it took a toll in a minute. The fight might have been closer, but you got two guys, one's 160, one's 147, 8-1 world titles in their respective, divisions. The most is probably Eubank winning the British title at middleweight. Conor Benn ain't fought for a British title. Not saying he won't win one, but he hasn't fought for one. And they're coming together to make this big fight off the back of their dad's names, isn't it? So it's just a kind of a showcase fight, and they're going to make a lot of money, which is good. I mean, it's good for them, but it means nothing in boxing. It's not going to take neither of them forward. If Eubank wins, it's not taking them forward or closer to a world title. If Conor Benn wins, he's got to go down to 147. That's not going to move him closer to a world title anyway. It's just one of them ones to showcase. Let's make some money and
probably back down in weight as well.
Probably will be hard to come back in down weight, but it's just like, yeah, man, let's go make some money, revive our dad's rivalry, and then go your separate ways. And we all saw Conor Benn not complaining, but kind of like insinuating that his power didn't carry up to 154 in his last fight. So why should we believe he's going to carry up to 160? So, I mean, yeah, that's what I think about it. But look, good luck to both guys, man. Go get your money, man.
You mentioned Misfits there. There's obviously a huge Misfits event this weekend. Now, when we spoke to you about this on the podcast, your attitude was very much, look, don't get twisted, don't get confused with real boxing, but let them secure the bag, keep them separate. Since then, it's just grown in prominence. People talking about this like it's going to be the fight of the year. What do you make of it? Does it annoy you? Are you more accepting of it now?
No, I mean, I'm still not bothered. I find it funny. I find it like when I see these fights, I'm laughing. I'm like, wow, who's actually going to win? Tommy Fury or KSI? I mean, Tommy Fury should win, obviously, but it's like, it's funny, innit? But only thing annoyed me, I think people were swerving the date and moving around the dates because obviously that was in the same date and it's a massive event and then it's hard to get dates. But other than that, it's like, it is what it is. Like I said, it's their entertainment. People are saying fight of the year, whatever, are their fans. When boxing people get involved in it, that's when it's like, hey, come on, let's be serious, man. This isn't real sport. Like, you know what I mean? Let's talk about sport. Let's talk about real boxing. I mean, you could touch on that, but let's not act like that's real boxing. The minute you start doing that is when it's like, come on, now you're taking the shine off the real athletes here.
So bringing it back to real boxing before I let you go, what do you see as your, assuming all goes well on the 18th, what do you see as your ideal route back to world levels for another world title shot?
It's building on my rankings right now. I mean, I'm ranked with the WBO. NWC after November 18th. Go win and come out with a good victory. I'll be ranked to the WBA with Nathan Heaney's WBA Continental belt. And then, well, I'm not ranked with the IBF. I don't know if they don't know who I am yet, but they're going to find out soon. But yeah, just keep building my rankings unless, you know, you can get one of these champions or fight someone else for an eliminator. But other than that, I think I just got to keep fighting guys that are ranked quite high with other governing bodies or, you know, fringe former world title challenges and stuff like that. Those are the kind of opponents I want to be in with. I want to be with like good opponents, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying the opponents I'm getting in with now ain't good, but just people with a little bit more status at that world level, so, you know, I can keep proving myself until I get a chance at a world title again.
Great stuff. Denzel, wish you the very best of luck on the 18th, and yeah, we'll be watching.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate. Appreciate it.